Hello everyone, welcome back to Video Game Choo Choo. We took a bit of a week off there because I went to a Transformers convention. I recorded some stuff there, so hopefully that'll go up at some point. You can hear me harassing Andy once more. But with me as always, I got John Machonsky.
Yep. I'm here. I didn't skip out to go to some stupid convention. That's what I'm gonna do next week, but you know.
You're the worst.
I'm not gonna miss out on the podcast,
You live in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, well then yeah, then I don't give a fuck what you do in your free time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why you had to miss out. Wasn't it just Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
No, did we leave on Thursday? I already can't remember. It's been a week.
I don't know.
Why didn't we record that week? What the fuck? Was it like Kevin had laryngitis, I think, was what happened.
That's what happened.
Like our guest, lost his voice. But we have a guest this week, none other than Mr. Conrad Zimmerman.
You make it sound like that's a big deal.
It is!
Okay,
You've been doing this longer than either of us. Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of
but
not to worry you or anything, but I'm a fan of your podcasts, Podtoid and Dismal Jesters.
Oh, well, thank you. That's something that I like to accept as little responsibility for as possible, particularly where the authorities are concerned. But yeah, those were fun shows, and Jim and I are going to work together on something new in the future. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that. Yeah.
Got any details on what that project is? Any exclusive scoops?
Yeah, I mean, I could say a little bit about it. We were supposed to get together and talk about it just this past weekend, and then plans got, awry. But the show is called Fist Shark Marketing. You can, if you're on Twitter, you should go on to Twitter and go to twitter.com/fistshark, one word. And then when we actually do get the show off the ground, which I think will be in about a week, you'll be able to find out exactly what it is. And in the meantime, that Twitter feed is just sort of giving an impression, I think, of what the show is going to be like. So you can sort of maybe get a sense from that. I don't want to say too much because it's a little different from some stuff we've done. And in a lot of ways, it's very much the same vein of humor as the Dismal Jesters and the later Podtoid episodes were like. But there's a bit more of a framework in place, and it's a little more satirical in nature.
Yeah, it seems like you guys might have a bit of kayfabe going on there.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of that. I had to think about my wrestling parlance for a second to make sure. Yeah, there might be a little bit of that at work.
Listen to this guy over here saying all this wrestling shit. I'm the guy who has the friggin' wrestling podcast. Why are you using the terms?
It's a good term.
It's a good term, but you're just throwing it around like you're an expert now. Listen to
As
you.
a writer, I like words that are succinct.
Okay. I'm just saying that you're not Mr.
Right,
Expert.
John? You fucking wrestling police?
Yes, I am. I'm the new wrestle police.
Crawl out of my ass, Machonsky.
No, I'm gonna destroy you from the inside. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so you watch your back and your front.
Fucking piece of shit.
No matter where you stand.
You're the heel in this situation.
No matter where you stand, I will make sure you fall.
Did you see he just went and did it again?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Did you see that?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be the new wrestling guy before this goddamn podcast is over. It'll be me.
I'm no longer sure who the heel is in this situation, which means it's exactly like professional wrestling for me.
This is absolutely true. You know what we should do,
I am the new CM Punk.
You know what we should do, Mike?
Do tell.
We should form a tag team.
I thought we already had some kind of tag team thing going. Like, we got a promo cut on us.
That's true. We're
the
Chooch
conductors.
Boys, right?
The conductors.
Oh, the conductors. Yeah, that's the good shit.
That's the good shit. I've also adopted that term from you. I don't know if you noticed.
Shit, yeah.
The good shit. It's a good term.
Yeah, I'm someone who like collects phrases and mannerisms from all over, and then I compile them, and then other people start taking them from me.
You're like
kinda
a
cool.
gestalt.
I was gonna say, like a
So,
toilet in Grand Central Station, but
Of course, yeah. Just gather it up and spread it around.
and you would know, Conrad. You
me.
moved out to New York recently, relatively recently.
I did, yeah, I did, but I haven't been to Grand Central Station.
That's
since
probably the right
arriving
call.
Here. I was there. I have been there once. I came to the city once before, and I was there, and it's beautiful, and and cleaner than I was told it would be.
Sure.
But
They just knew
it's
you were
just
coming,
New
so
York's
they
cleaned
up a little
up.
bit.
It was in the 80s. It was a really pretty terrible goddamn place, and it's cleaned up a lot. And I was surprised actually by how pleasant it is to be here.
You know, I would be surprised too. Whenever I go to a big city, I'm expecting like
Well, that's nice.
homeless people to just be walking in straight lines, snapping their fingers, looking for a rumble. Just like
Well, yeah,
cats and
Portland's
dogs
actually
roaming the streets.
Portland has a Portland, Oregon. I mean, has a very, very vibrant and active homeless community. And like I see, like San Francisco, that's something that when I go there, I see that happen a lot. But I don't see it here in New York. And I spend most of my time in Queens, and so it's just not like that here. But I don't get that kind of exposure like when I lived in Portland, and I was literally stepping over people sometimes. There was always a guy who in the winter would sleep underneath the exhaust vent for the laundry room in my building, and he'd have his blanket and he'd cover the vent and himself in it to trap in the heat exhaust from the dryers. And this would, the whole winter he would be there. Anytime the dryer was running, that dude.
That's not a bad idea.
Capturing heat. No, they're very inventive, and they they find a way, and more power to them. But it's not the weird same kind of desperation that I often heard attributed to this city in my youth. It's a very interesting place to be.
It does seem like that. It's a place I'd like to be at some point, but just like not right now. I'm all in West Coast mode.
Yeah, I don't know that I even would want to stay here forever or anything like that. We moved here because my wife had work here, and I like where we live, but I don't know this is where I want to die. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that thinks death could come at any day, so maybe we shouldn't plan to be here forever. But yeah, it's not a bad place to live. I'm really
especially with family in Buffalo.
I'm a 4 walls and a roof guy. Anything that meets those criteria is usually okay. I can usually find a way to make that function. So it doesn't matter that much.
It's more about like the neighborhood for you, I guess.
I mean, I would just not go out of the 4 walls if I didn't like the neighborhood. I'd just stay in the 4 walls. Can I afford to live there? Yes. Does it provide shelter? Yes. Can I get a good internet connection? Yes. Fine. Fuck it. The next most important thing to me is proximity to a grocery store. That's it.
And then even that, like eventually you can just have like Amazon ship all that stuff to your house.
I could live on Gotham's crime alley, and that would be fine. As long as I could get, walking distance to a grocery store and a decent internet connection.
Oh, whoops, I accidentally stepped on where Bruce Wayne's parents died again.
Another homeless man is sitting there.
Shit happens. Yeah.
So
no, he sort of... I just sort of imagine that after they dragged the bodies away, another homeless man went and just sort of laid on that spot in the concrete trying to absorb whatever warmth remained. Is that a dark image? Okay.
It's a really funny dark image.
Sort of scurrying out of the darkness like a cockroach. Yeah.
On all fours.
Thanks, Batman.
Yes.
So right now you're working on Sup Holmes, which was recently kickstarted, right? The fans put together some money for that project.
Yeah, well, what happened was, we ran it for 2 years on Destructoid, and it's not a show that people love it. It has a very, very dedicated but very small following, and that doesn't an advertisement-supported show make. So it was never going to be something that turned a profit for Destructoid, and so they needed to let it go, which was totally understandable to us. And so we just thought, hey, why don't we see if there's interest in us doing another 50 episodes and put it out there. And we asked for a very modest sum of money to accomplish it. The goal was like $6,000 and that was going to include upgrades of hardware and things like that. So it was pretty cheap, and within 24 hours, it was fully funded and then some. And by the time, we only ran a 2-week campaign. By the time it was done, we'd done a little over 250%. And so we decided that we would do 100 episodes, 2 more years of the show.
Oh, great.
We set up a website, which is almost done. And yeah, it's been really, really successful. And people were very, very generous. And it's one of those things where we didn't have, again, a ton of people participate in the Kickstarter. Like we had, I think, a little over between 300 and 400 people contributed money to that. But the volume, and the quality of those people, the dedication that they had to it was such that it was very easy for us to attain and then dramatically exceed our goal. And so we're incredibly grateful for that. I think that's the only way sort of more challenging or intense content can live on the internet at this point, is by getting sort of direct funding from the people who truly love it, because you see this all the time in gaming websites and so forth. The quantity and to an extent the quality of feature-length content on blogs and so forth has really been diminishing over the last few years, giving rise to short-form video content, and those are great too, don't get me wrong. You can certainly say a lot in a video in much less time than it would take someone to read similar thoughts and expressions. So that's not a criticism of the form, but the form's changed. And those videos have to be short out of necessity. And so here we have this 90-minute interview program because we feel that we need to have enough time to really talk to this person and get a sense of who they are. And so that's never going to work. In terms of getting enough people to dedicate that kind of time that you can serve ads to it. It's a huge ask of the consumer of the end product. So this works great for our show, and I think it's going to be the way a lot of similar content goes. You see Patreons rise for a lot of independent journalists and writers as an example of where that kind of long-form introspective content is going to come from in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Like, there's been this...
And I think
that
that's the
Polygon
perfect
piece
way.
just went up today about sort of Patreon and like how certain Patrons get funded. That's been contributing to some today's Twitter drama.
Yeah, that was an interesting piece. There are my only... I don't care for the way it's written necessarily. I think that the style of the writing is what a lot of people are reacting to, because it seems almost flippant,
Sure.
and a little pretentious at times. Like the final line there in
Almost certainly,
Patreon, we
yeah.
see the death of the writer and the creation of the media being. I read that and I was just like.
That's like the exact opposite of what Patreon is creating. It's Patreon's letting people write what they want, and
I agree with that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, and this is the important distinction, is that you can't view Patreon as a replacement for some mainstream success, because you have to reach a point of popularity to where your Patreon can develop steady, reliable revenue, which means that, and that's the whole point of the Polygon piece, is that while it certainly would, from all appearances, give the impression that, hey, this little guy can rise up, and a fresh voice can be there because these people that believe in their message are supporting them. You have to have already attracted the people to support you, and so that hinges on past success. You have to have established yourself already, and that kind of runs counter to the internet's seeming idea that we're democratizing all content, and that these things are going to just come up out of nowhere, because they won't. This is only a long-term viable option for people who have a support network in place with a sizable audience that can support them.
Exactly, and that's kind of the issue, is that there isn't really a proving grounds for new voices. It's more just like, yeah, we can have Patreon to support people that already have a bit of a fan base, but if someone new wants to show up, they're not going to be supported on Patreon, and it's getting harder and harder every day for new voices to get into the mainstream media, so that's kind of an issue on both sides.
Right, yeah, I don't think Patreon is going to ultimately be the answer. But that could be wrong. I mean, there are a lot of avenues to grow that audience. Social media has provided limitless paths to accomplishing that, between getting a good Twitter feed going, to operating a good YouTube channel, to running a Tumblr, or just having a dynamic and interesting Facebook feed. You have options, and so you can develop it if you are dedicated to that as the idea. But that needs to be your goal, is to grow your audience, not to profit from it immediately. And it's going to take time. It always takes time. It takes years to develop to a level. And I mean, I'm absolutely sure. And I did games writing for 6 years, and I have a good group of people that do support what I do. But I don't think I could survive on a Patreon. I don't think there's any hope of that. People like my work. I think there are people out there that would contribute money to such a thing. But I'm certainly not in a position, 6 years in, where I feel like, yeah, fuck it, I don't need to ever get a real job again. I can just write on my own blog, and this Patreon community is going to support me. I don't think that that's viable.
Yeah, definitely.
But as someone who's currently, between jobs, have you looked at that as sort of a way of supplementing your income while you wait for the next thing to come along?
I've looked at it. I've considered it. It's so hard for me to commit to something like that.
Sure.
Because I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want somebody to say, hey, make what you want, and then have what I make not be what they wanted. So that I would struggle with that. I would much rather go to a publication and say, I would like to write this for you, and have them give me a check. That to me is the better way to do it, because I don't necessarily want to get into business with my audience if I don't have to. I think once money starts exchanging hands, things get ugly. I would rather take money from people whose opinions of me I care less about, when it comes right down to. I enjoy having the respect of my peers and the people that I work for, but the people I really work for, the audience, the people who are reading. The publication is just the person who gives me the check at the end of the day. And so while I want to do what they ask of me, what they're asking of me is to provide something for the audience that employs them. So I really work for the audience when it comes right down to it.
I think that's a good way to look at it. You don't want to piss off the audience in a reasonable way, In some cases, your audience is wrong, when they complain about writing about a social issue, an important social issue. That's something that needs to happen in this space for gaming to move forward. But generally, looking at your audience as sort of the most important person in your work, even more so than upper management or even the publishers, I think is healthier, if not the most financially
even by that
tenable
token,
situation.
By that token, you gave the example of, sometimes your audience is wrong in their approach to a social issue or something like that. Now, if it's something that I'm writing about and my audience has the wrong idea after I've written something about it, I didn't do my job. That's a failing on my part. That's not a failure of the audience.
Oh, I don't know if that's always the case.
It was an inability for me.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, there are people that you can't argue with, who are never going to see your side of it.
And it just so happens that a lot of them live on the internet.
Well, sure. But you pick and choose your battles. But more often than not, I find that when I'm confronted by these people who have a warped or incorrect or inappropriate view of a social issue, even if you just talk to them, and have open a dialogue and have a conversation about it and get their point of view and then express yours and sort of try to demonstrate why what they're thinking doesn't necessarily work, 9 times out of 10, even if they don't agree with you, you both walk away with a greater understanding. And so I don't have a problem with that. I think that's okay. I think you don't want to let it escalate to the point where anyone's angry.
Sure.
And that's tricky because these are divisive sorts of issues, and I'm always really kind of careful to sort of keep a distance because I'm a white guy. And so there are very few social issues that I can speak to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without coming from a position of absolute total privilege. And so I'm very, very self-aware of that. And that's why I try to, whenever possible, not even enter into these kinds of conversations. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge that, hey, I am a white guy who has benefited in a lot of ways from a lot of social injustice, and that's wrong. I can't do that. I can't do anything to fix that other than be aware of it and try to make sure that other people are aware of it. That's it. That's the extent of my ability to participate in this process, I think. Because anything to go beyond that, it would almost be disingenuous.
Sure.
Like I'm trying to do it to score points in some game or something. It wouldn't be right.
This is also something that we've been struggling with too.
Yeah.
What can I do? I can't write something about it and and make a big fuss, because if I do that, I'm an asshole.
It's talking over people. That's something that I have learned personally, even just talking to people that are affected by social injustices, is that the best thing to do is to bring attention to it, but just make sure that there is a space for the people that are affected to talk. As long as you're not talking over the actual people that are being offended or that are being, that it's about. If they can talk, that's what matters.
I don't feel like I have a right to outrage, I think is what it comes down to. I'm not in a position where it's appropriate for me to be outraged about a lot of these issues. And I don't think it's healthy anyway. I don't think it's helpful to be angry. I think that the better course is to just sort of take a step back and try to find what the core issue is and where the real disagreement lies. There's a lot of angry rhetoric that gets shouted in these things, and then the arguments become about semantics or about the little details, and there's no point in getting angry about it. Just take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about what the other person's trying to say to you.
I mean, I think that's kind of an easy thing to say, though, if you're not directly involved.
If I'm coming from this position of privilege, absolutely.
Because,
yes. It's very easy to say that.
There's so many people that, I'll get angry, not really for other people, but I'll just be upset seeing someone being so wronged. Like, I think that that's a perfectly reasonable and perfectly fair reaction to something that happens. Like, seeing someone, like, for example, I was so pissed off seeing Samantha Allen getting run off of Twitter. Like, that was one of the worst things I've seen on Twitter, like, at all. And just
then the
seeing something
argument
like that,
didn't become like, hey, Giant Bomb hired these 2 white dudes. It became the Giant Bomb community harassed this transgender woman.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and that's
just made it worse.
That's the really unfortunate part of that. And Giant Bomb should be allowed to hire whoever they want to, you know. And I totally respect that people were upset by the choice that they made. Like, I get that. I don't know that it's right necessarily to be, especially like the volume of anger that was expressed over that seemed out of proportion. I know why they're angry. Nothing would please me more than to see Maddie Bryce get a gig at a place like Giant Bomb, or that, because she has a really fresh, smart voice, and I love her work. Why they chose to go, I can't speak to that. I don't think it's right to leap to the conclusion that, you know, they are misogynists in any way, which some of that went around. I don't think it's fair to say that they don't care about diversity because they hired 2 guys, you know, 2 more white guys. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think they found the 2 guys that they felt were most qualified to do the job, and they hired them.
I agree to an extent, because I feel like the correct, well, not the absolute correct, but the feeling that I understood the most that people were having was just the disappointment. Was that it wasn't the anger, it was the disappointment. It was, oh, Giant Bomb talks a lot about diversity and hiring some new people, but they went with these guys. That there's disappointment that makes absolute sense in this case. And also, I feel like Giant Bomb, they heard people's reactions, and at the very least, I feel like they're not going to just they're not going to just flippantly hire someone. They're going to definitely consider some more diversity, especially because they have the new office in the East. So, you know, we'll see. We might see some new stuff, some new people over there, some more diverse voices. To me, it just seems like they wanted to fill some holes on the podcast, and that was kind of what they hired Dan for. At least that's how I feel. And it makes sense the way that it's going right now, and I was especially happy to see that they're bringing on a diverse guest on their newest podcast. That was really, I feel like that was a great way to, at the very least for now, touch on the problem that people had and be like, see, look, we're really not like that, and to everyone who is going to act like that, you know, fuck you, because we want to have diverse voices on this podcast. And even though we might not have someone working with us constantly, we will at least have some form of extra voices coming on, because Brad even said we're probably going to have more guests on in the future. So that's at least something. And I'm at least happy to see that they're trying something with what they have right now. And probably in the future, they're going to take what happened and build upon it. So I don't think that they're stupid. I don't think that they're hateful. I just think, I understand the disappointment. That's what I'm saying.
But going back to your outrage about Samantha Allen, that you know, I guess the question I have is, it's okay to be outraged, I think. I wouldn't be able to express that outrage. You know, I can't do that. I can't get up and say, here, I'm angry about this thing, which is really not affecting me.
I don't.
That's the same kind of it's just, I'm not talking about some Sudan issue here or anything. We're talking about an individual getting abused, and while it's terrible, if I add my voice to that, I'm adding a voice to the thing. And I can't do that. I can't contribute to it. I can't add to the noise.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why it's not something that I would write an article about or anything. It's the kind of thing where I see someone who is wronged, and I'm just upset about it, and I'll say, "Oh, that sucks." Like that's not. I agree with you. I feel like we're agreeing a lot more than we're disagreeing. We're just kind of using different words. Where it's just like.
We're arguing about semantics, which is what I said. All of these things eventually devolve into.
You're right in that, because basically I'm just trying to say that it's just shitty that someone was silenced, and that's all I'm really saying. It's not really like it's not the case that I need to express myself on this topic, because I don't. Like
right, but I think for a lot of people that get involved in this, that's the impetus, is that they need to feel the need to weigh in on a topic that they really have no need to weigh in on at all. 9 times out of 10, you could just let that go and let the people involved deal with it, and that would be okay.
That was in that Alexander piece where it said you don't have to weigh in. That was a good point, where it's like, yes, it's good to feel this way, but if you're not directly involved, you don't have to weigh in. Even if you are if you're on the air quotes good side, you don't have to weigh in, because as long as you're not against it, it's fine.
I know what side I'm on. Who am I trying to convince?
Exactly. All right.
So you guys played any video games?
No.
Actually, before we move on to this, I did want to just say that I was really proud of John when for his Metal Gear review, instead of talking about the sexual assault in that game, he just brought on other people to talk about it. I think that's the right way to handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the review, what I did was I put out an open letter to my Twitter and Tumblr followers. It was basically like, look, I'm not going to publish your names or anything, but if you played Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes and you in any way have been affected by sexual assault or anything of the sort, I would want to hear how you were impacted or how you felt they handled it in the game. And I just took what they said and I published that. I mean, I put a little bit of my opinion on the bottom, but at the top was the other people's opinion, and I felt like that was an important thing to do.
Yeah, you did good on that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and moving on from that excellent discussion that I didn't hear all of because I lost the call multiple times. Conrad, what video games have you been playing?
I have been playing Dark Cloud 2.
Okay.
It's a PlayStation 2. It's kind of like a 3D VanillaWare game. That's how I feel about it.
Right.
But it's kind of it's a game that I've never finished. I've started it maybe half a dozen times, and I'll make it all the way to like the last chapter of the game, and then I'll put it down and never bother finishing it. But the thing I appreciate about it is that all of its elements just sort of blossom like a flower through the course of the game. In your first hour or two, you'll have your one guy and he has a wrench and a gun, and then now you get a mech that you can put him in and run around your levels, and then they add another character and she's got her own weapons, and hey, all this stuff needs to be leveled up. And did you know you can take pictures of things so that you can get ideas to invent new weapons and parts for your robot? That's pretty neat, and you're going to need materials for all of that, but don't worry, because you can break down every item in the game into a base element and then apply it to your weapons to make them more powerful. That's kind of neat. Hey, do you like golf? You can play golf on almost every level of the game. Maybe you like fishing. You can do that in most of them too. And so it's just like, and hour by hour, it keeps introducing more and more elements. It's just really, really satisfying to watch. So that's what I've been playing.
Okay, cool. John Machonsky, you got your PS4 back.
Yeah. So I don't think I did I tell the story of what happened to my PS4?
Possibly. I don't remember what happens on this podcast.
Yeah, I know we're in and out so constantly, but no, it's not really a big story.
Now
It's
I
just
want some in and
my
out.
house. Oh, shh. My house got struck by lightning a couple weeks ago, and a very select few of my electronics got completely fried. My router got fried, my TV box got fried, and my PS4 got fried. Thankfully, it was still under warranty, so Sony, I sent them my old PS4, and they just sent me a new one, which was really nice. So I got a brand spanking new PS4, I re-downloaded all my games onto it, and I started playing Strider, the newest PS Plus game on PS4, and that game is super, super cool in a very, very basic way. It's an action and adventure exploration game, a Metroidvania, if you're lame.
Oh, Metroidvania.
One of those. It's a new Strider game. It controls really well. I really like Double Helix's almost art style, where it's kind of got this grimy shininess, and most of the time I don't really like that in art style. But Double Helix pulls it off. Like, that's what Killer Instinct kind of looks like too, and it definitely has a similar art style to Killer Instinct. And Strider plays really well. I love his jump. I love his little cartwheel jump. I love watching that. But I
Movement
also
is important in a game, so
It's
I get where you're coming from there.
It's true. I also hooked up my GameCube because I watched Evo this past weekend, and that made me want to play Melee. So I played some Melee, and that game is still Super Smash Brothers Melee. It's that. I love that game.
Thank God.
I know, right? It's like
I was worried.
As the world rotates, Super Smash Brothers changes for us all. But I don't know. I need to play more of that because I need to play as my Mewtwo. I need to get good as him again.
Yeah, but that's significant. I mean, that's something worth noting. We now live in an age where our, competitive fighting games may not be the same games they were 5 years later.
Most certainly not. Like, this is going to go really inside baseball here, but it's kind of interesting. At Evo this year, the winner of Evo for Marvel, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, was Justin Wong.
Justin Wong!
And it was...
I watched it. It was
super,
awesome.
super exciting. But here's where it gets really interesting, is that Justin Wong winning was almost a factory reset of Marvel as a competitive fighting game. Because back when Marvel first came out as vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Justin Wong was Evo champion as well, and he was running the same team, which was Akuma, Storm, and Wolverine. Now, back then, Akuma, Storm, and Wolverine was basically considered the annoying team. Everyone hated to see Akuma, Storm, and Wolverine because that was Justin Wong's team, and everyone used them. But now, as the game evolved, the character that everyone hates to see is Morrigan from Darkstalkers, because she has a combination of moves where she splits herself off into two characters, and then she can fill the entire screen with her projectile. And it is the most annoying thing in the world, and everyone does it now because of this one player named Chris G. So, Marvel pretty much reset, because Justin beat Chris G with his old annoying team. He beat the new annoying team, so everyone's going to start trying to copy Justin Wong because they're going to basically see his team as the great team, and Chris G's team is going to fizzle out until something new is discovered. And I think that's really interesting. Just everyone is saying that Justin Wong saved Marvel, but in reality, he probably just invented a new way to kill it.
John,
Yes.
when's Marvel?
Well, the next tournament, the big tournament, probably in like a month.
Oh, goddamn you. Goddamn you, John.
Don't
Goddamn you for knowing that.
Don't try to meme me, all right? I come prepared.
You come prepared for all my memes?
I come prepared for these memes, yes. But no, Melee was really interesting because Nintendo sponsored EVO this year, and last year Nintendo wanted to shut down Melee from EVO. And that was an incredible shift just from a year. And I mean, Nintendo obviously partially did that so they could have more hype for Smash 4, but it's the perfect way to get people into your game. And Melee was super exciting. My boy Hungrybox almost won. He got second place. It was really good. Hungrybox from Florida. I'd love to have him on Choo Crew or something. I should try to get in contact with him.
I don't know that I would categorize that as a change of heart on Nintendo's part or anything. I think it was more of an acknowledgement that denying Melee has PR repercussions. I don't think they care anymore about their games or have any more interest in their games being used in a competitive gaming landscape than they did a year ago. I think they just don't want people pissed off.
I would say that if they didn't do the Invitational at E3, that was such a big endorsement for the Smash Bros. Community, the competitive community, that if they had just done EVO, just done EVO, I'd have been like, all right, they're just trying not to ignore them. But they invited competitive Smash Bros. Players to play at E3, and supposedly, I'm not 100% sure if Sakurai is still talking to them, but Sakurai was in talks with pro Smash Bros. Players, asking them what he feels like he should fix to make Smash 4 a little bit more competitive friendly.
It's interesting. It's the sort of program I would expect Nintendo to want to do themselves rather than have someone else manage for them. Similar to the way Pokemon is managed. And maybe they can do that. I don't know. I just have a hard time imagining Nintendo just sort of getting into bed with another organization.
I don't see Nintendo doing that with Smash Bros. Just because of how the Smash Bros. Community is. It's a friendly community, but it's also just so sporadic and so wanting to be its own thing that getting that nod from Nintendo is what they want, but they don't want to be smothered by Nintendo. Like, the competitive Pokemon community could care less if they're sponsored or not. They're just going to keep playing Pokemon, but especially because competitive Pokemon doesn't need that crystal perfect online, and it doesn't need that grandeur, but Smash Bros, at the very least, they feel like they do. They do need that perfect online, and that's why I hope Smash 4 is going to have a really good online system, because Brawl was trash. Brawl you could barely play online. So, yeah, I could definitely see... I mean, I definitely understand that why you would think that maybe Nintendo is just doing this as a PR thing, but this really does seem like...
No, I don't think that they're just doing it as a PR thing. I think that they recognize and acknowledge that there's marketing value in it. That's clearly true, but I don't think that they are... I just don't get the impression that they're as excited about the fighting game community as some people would like to think at this point. The Invitational was a good move, and I hope that they acknowledge that this particular product, because this one more than any other, I think they don't really have a whole lot in the way of competitive content, Nintendo at all. So, and there's always such an attachment whenever they have it too. You think about it, like GoldenEye.
Yeah, I
mean, who'd have thought? It's not that great at
GoldenEye isn't good.
No, but it was the when GoldenEye came out, I was in college and I was playing a lot of Quake 2 because I had a PC that was a decent rig, and I didn't understand what people saw in GoldenEye. I couldn't fathom it, and then I came to realize it was, well, no, it's because they have a Nintendo console, and this is the only game like it that's there, and that similar. Smash Brothers is similar in that respect. I think it's the only thing they have of that nature, and maybe they're more interested in getting involved in that. But I've always gotten the sense that it's just sort of a side product.
Yeah, like...
It's not a main thrust product. And if that's the case, I don't see them devoting the kind of resources necessary in the end to really get it out there.
If Smash 4 doesn't take off competitively, I could definitely see Nintendo just kind of cutting off their continued...
Yeah, they'll just shrug their shoulders and move on.
Yeah, keep playing Melee. We don't care. They'll just leave it.
And I think that there will be, I think if it's a runaway success, you have equal likelihood that they'll shrug their shoulders and walk away from it.
Yeah, because people are still going to be playing Melee, no matter what.
And I don't expect it would have to be, some sort of ridiculous sales success, and the competitive Smash Bros, community is going to constitute a drop in the bucket in terms of what they want in terms of sales for a game. I don't want to diminish their importance, but I'm going to say they're not that important.
Yeah, overall, of course not. But still, if Nintendo is trying to bring attention to them, to try to make it be a big deal, so they could be like, see, you should be watching these streams of the Smash Bros. Players because look at how cool our game is. That's the kind of thing that they're trying to do, and I feel like it could work if more people start caring about competitive fighting games. Like, I
think it could certainly work from a marketing perspective. Yeah. I mean, you look at how successful they were with the Smash Dojo the last time they did this. But here's the thing that's brilliant about this strategy is that they are getting other people to do the work for them. And so from that perspective, this is going to be very good for Nintendo. I just don't know that it's going to ultimately be great for Smash Brothers or Smash Brothers fans.
We'll see.
I don't know.
So, I don't think... the only other thing that I kind of played was this is really dumb, but I've been trying to breed a shiny Lickitung for the past 3 days.
It's good to have goals.
That's about that's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of very dumb anime, and I've just been letting my game run while I do that. Man, I have some stories. About very dumb anime.
Let's hear the stories about this very dumb anime.
All right, so for the past 2 weeks, I have been chronicling on my Tumblr. If you are a follower on my Tumblr, you will be seeing. I mostly do it late at night because I feel like it's funnier that way. But I've been watching this show called Rail Wars. Now, at first I was just like, you know what? Let's watch this because it's about trains. VideoGameChooChoo.com. Check it. Cross promotion, and it is maybe one of the strangest animes that I've ever seen for being both intensely stereotypical and also not. Because there are most certainly too many scenes of anime girls falling over and you see their panties and, oh, she has very large breasts, let's talk about them. But there's also a shit ton of scenes of very, very realistic, they talk about trains and it's in perfect detail, and they talk about how train stations are run, and each of the characters have realistic jobs in the train station, and they talk about how important each character would be in a real-life situation. But then the next scene, they're talking about boobs again, and it is the most confusing... It gives me whiplash watching this, because it's the kind of thing where if you meet someone new and you talk to them about something they're really passionate about, like, oh, this is really interesting just hearing this person talk about something. But then you find out that they're, into some really weird porn. It's like, man, that's so weird. I thought they were a good person and that they had interesting things, but I don't know if I could keep going with this. Like, it's so weird. And yeah, I've just been kind of making fun of it. And it's good to make fun of. It's really... There's some funny screenshots that I've pulled from this. Like, there was an episode where there was a bomb threat, and they just start talking about how much money the train station makes, and how if they give in to the bomber's demands, it wouldn't be that big of a dent in the train station's budget. And I was just like, okay. It's so weird. But yeah, don't watch anime. Don't live.
That's what I've been saying to you for years.
Don't live your life like me. I'm
actual years.
I'm a mistake.
He's back in the waifu life, ladies and gentlemen.
No, don't live like me.
The jokes may resume. The humor funnies have returned.
Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Mike, have you been?
You lost your murdered saves, right?
I think I did. Yeah. I have.
Okay, well, get back to playing that game, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll probably just run through it really quick and try to get to the end, because I need to see how that game ends.
Yeah, that game ends in the fucking most ridiculous way possible. It is nuts. The way they contextualize those mechanics in the form of a boss fight is nuts. I love that game. It will be important come Game of the Year time on this podcast. Which you would not know asking anyone else who's played it.
Man, I don't even know if I want to play through that, though, because... God, I don't want to play through those stealth sections again.
Do you want me to just tell you what happens after this podcast is over?
Maybe, because I would play through it again if those stealth sections didn't suck.
They're really bad. Those stealth sections are really bad, but I like everything else about that game quite a bit.
Alright.
I don't know, you let me know one day if you're gonna finish it all the way or not, and I'll just, drop that spoiler on you, because it's pretty good. That's the good shit, as we say around these parts.
Alright, Mike, what have you been playing?
So, I got a code for a game called Long Night. I think I may have talked about it a couple weeks ago, before I left for TFCon. It's an episodic Steam horror game. It's kind of like the brainchild of not Final Fantasy. Friday the 13th. I was about to say Final Fantasy the 13th. It's not. It's Friday the 13th and Silent Hill mixed together. So you have sort of the oppressive atmosphere of Silent Hill and the low visibility and all these little side quests and side stories coming together to form this really atmospheric and rich universe. But you have the aesthetic and location of the Friday the 13th series. So you have a lot of J-horror tropes mixed in with this Americana summer camp. It's really interesting. It creates a dissonance that I appreciated. Up until the game was a fucking piece of hot trash. John, we were Skype calling when I was finishing that game up. I was making some noises.
I just remember sitting there and we were just talking, and all of a sudden I just hear, God damn it! Why did they have to do this shit? And I was like, oh boy, I can't wait until tomorrow to hear about this.
Yeah, no, that... Oh my god. So I guess the conceit of the game is that you're trying to help your friends through their deep-seated fears. You're part of the D4 group. This high-ranking gang of kids in this camp. You're the big shots. And then you do this Bloody Mary type thing, and you summon this evil monster, and then everyone gets separated, so you gotta go find your friends and help them out. So the character the first episode centers around... you find him by the lake, and he's got some parental issues, and so you go back to the lake, and a shark with a vagina for a mouth eats him because he has mother issues, and vaginas are symbolic, I guess. So you gotta jump in the evil demon lake, and then you have these sequences where you have to find your way to a light in sort of a maze. So if you walk on the wrong path, the shark will eat you. So you need to find these lights so you can stall the shark, go into like these doors, which are a subconscious manifestation of his family issues, and then a minigame happens. And the one I had the most trouble with was one where you have to run up this windy tunnel while a blood waterfall follows you, and you can't run very far, otherwise you'll start panting. And there is also just like water pouring down from the ceiling that impedes your progress. So you're booking it up this twisty hallway, and every like 5 seconds, either your character gets hit with some water and stops, or they have to get to their breath, and then you're fucked. So it's like adding Uncharted-style action sequences to a Silent Hill game, and it works about as well as you'd expect. So you have sort of these set-piece moments, scaled down considerably. You know, this is a budget-ass game. The water looks like hot trash. So you have these Uncharted-style moments that don't have any of the pomp or circumstance of those games, mixed with like survival horror mechanics. And that's where the game really, really fucks up in those last couple moments with those mini games. It's something that I want to like find a video of, so like John, you can see it and you can appreciate my pain, because
just hearing
it's just
about
ugly.
this makes me very upset.
Yeah, it sucks. And what doubly sucks about the game is that when you start it, you get your brightness slider as you do, and it says turn the brightness slider until the lady on the left is barely visible. So I did that. It turns out there was another lady on the left that was all the way dark, so I played that game on a bad darkness setting. I want to go back and see if that'll make it any better, but I kind of appreciated how dark the game was. It did sort of lend itself well to that Silent Hill type atmosphere. That is, until I started noticing the Pyramid Head Nemesis type figure just spawning in behind me, and that kind of ruined the atmosphere a little bit. But there are also really cool moments where you're inside buildings, investigating side quests or like the main quest, and that's where a lot of the really good atmosphere comes in. Like, again, coming back to John and our friends like hanging out last night, I was playing through an area where there were just a bunch of creepy dolls all set up, and you'll find a doll in like a bathtub full of blood, and it's just like dolls sitting at you and staring at you and holding knives. It sounds like hokey when I'm describing it, but it works well in the moment. Like, you can't really see them, and then when you get close enough to get a good look at them, they're even creepier. So that sort of ambient horror goes a long way. And there are also really fun, cheesy moments. Like, if you look into an abyss too long, something really funny happens, or like, you look at this picture and this boy's mother has turned to like this fanged monster and she's biting him. And so it's got a lot of fun, like Friday the 13th schlocky horror, and then atmospheric Silent Hill horror. And that stuff works really, really well. Like, if that had been all of the game, I would have been ecstatic. But at the end, it just kind of shits itself. And also, if you don't get lost like I did and spend a lot of time just like really scouring the camp, the game is like an hour long. It's $5, and like that first 45 minutes is fantastic, but I'd say wait for the whole thing to come out and then see how much the additional episodes are, or if there are additional episodes. But I think that's pretty much all I've been playing. I have some stuff downloading so I can start working on my Steam backlog. Hopefully there will be a review of Long Night up on the site soon. It's got some issues, but I see some promise, and I hope they can turn that thing around.
Cool.
John, you want to pull up the news?
Oh boy, do we have some news. We got some news, everyone. You got some bad news, some good news, all kinds of news. First, I guess we should
quit stalling for time.
Bad news. I'm not stalling for time. I have everything right in front of me. Be nice, okay? Alright. So first off, the big bad news that happened today. It's really awful that this happened. Microsoft just announced that they're cutting 18,000 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like most of that is in Nokia, but they're slashing the Microsoft Entertainment division entirely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said.
So it means that Deadlands series isn't happening.
Yeah, they're going to continue working on what has already been in production, but other than that, it's being canceled.
I'm just good. Good. I mean, it sucks that people are losing their jobs, but They're not going ahead with the Deadlands series. That's a good thing. Let's just count our blessings and move on.
I have a feeling that division would have just like been a money suck anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. No, that
more people would have lost jobs if all that
really
would have gone
well
through.
thought out idea. Yeah.
Like, I hope everyone affected gets a new job soon. But yeah, that entertainment studios thing that wouldn't have been a good thing anyway. So yeah.
No, I think this is. I think in a few years we're all going to look back on this and think, "Wow, this was really the best thing that could have happened to all of us."
In other strange news, the Yogscast people are getting a lot of flack recently for multiple reasons. First off, their Yog Ventures game got canceled. It was
the Kickstarted game.
They kickstarted it in 2012 and they just canceled it.
Hey guys, guess what's happening to the Homestuck game? Exactly that.
Boy, oh boy.
Well,
Yog Ventures brought in $567,000 in May 2012. It got approved through Steam Greenlight, and it got canceled, and all the backers just got Steam keys for another game. And the creators were quoted to say that they have no obligation to finish their game.
Jesus. Mm-hmm. Like, what happens if you own that game already? Are you just fucked?
Yeah, no. People who paid enough money to purchase the game when it came out, they just got sent a Steam key for another game.
right, but I think what he's asking is, what if you already had that game?
Oh, what do you mean? Like, if the game was out?
If you already had a copy of the game that they sent you.
Oh, I guess they have no obligation to help you with that. They have no obligation for anything, I guess.
No, because you're not an investor. You're donating. There's a difference. People will learn this. Few more of these happen. People will figure it out.
It's shitty that happened, but at the same time, there isn't a legal obligation for anything. It is a donation drive. So
they do have to fulfill their rewards if I'm correct.
I'm pretty sure they did that.
All right. Well then,
like that's why they sent out a code for a video game, because that was the reward, that they would send you a code for a video game.
Have this copy of Bad Rats
for not coming through.
Yeah.
Never give them your money again.
Yeah, there you go.
Just that's it.
I mean,
they had their shot.
There's also this debate about the Yogscast Yog Discovery, where they're being paid by publishers to play the games on their Let's Play channel.
Well, no, that's not quite it, and that's where I think this is really interesting. Because the Yogs Discovery thing, if it were simply a matter of them being given money to play the games, that'd be fine. But what they're actually doing is collecting a percentage of that game's sales following the release of the content for a period of time. Yeah, it's they posted an open letter to Reddit a week ago, sort of laying out how their system worked in an FAQ kind of way, and yeah, that's the way this is designed to function. I think that's much worse in my view, because now here you as a venture organization critic, if you want to call yourself that, and I don't think you can if you're going to do this, you're tying your fortune directly to the success of the product that you're criticizing or that you're putting on display, and that I have a problem with. That's really you can't be impartial in that way. Yeah,
exactly.
Because how well the product does directly affects how well you earn. Mm-hmm. That's a problem. I have no problem whatsoever if someone wants to approach a developer and say, hey, I'll give your game exposure by playing it on my YouTube channel. Here's what I charge for that service.
That's nothing new.
That's fine. As long as the people producing the content are transparent about the fact that they're being paid to produce this content.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The transparency is the issue, because there was Gamasutra did that survey that said that around 25% of YouTube Let's Players or other producers of content on YouTube said that they take money from publishers, but they're not transparent about it.
And that's a violation of FTC guidelines. If you're doing this out of the United States, the UK has similar laws regarding the kind of transparency that has to be made when that kind of content is produced. So they can be found to be in violation of the law if they're operating within one of those jurisdictions. But besides that, they're dishonest. And, woe betide them when it comes to light who they are. Yeah. Because the minute the people who have been consuming their content feel that they've been lied to in some way, that's the end.
That's why games writers don't take bribes.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's why there's that myth drives me and many others absolutely batshit because it's completely
it's the
unsustainable.
Worst.
Yeah.
It's the fucking worst thing in the world to me right now, immediately. I have to dispel that every time I talk to someone who's in the know.
Yeah, it's insane that people think that. Like, I don't understand where people... Like, it's just this continued myth that everyone thinks that it's this truth that continues to happen even after the Jeff Gerstmann thing. Like, it's...
That's where it all fucking started, and even... Like, it wasn't even getting paid off. That's the fucking thing. It was just a threat. From management, not even editorial.
But nobody would know that because nobody really knows the inner workings of video game criticism, and like I'm not expecting them to. I'm just saying that people think that this still continues to this day, and it doesn't because look what fucking happened, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yes, this is an instance where it didn't actually happen, and that was the response. Who would ever, with a mind to, do this for the remainder of their career or whatever, anybody who expects to have work in the future knows that this is an absolutely perfect way to ruin yourself.
And like on the opposite end of the coin, getting that story, being the guy who exposed this, that's a career maker.
So basically what I'm saying is everyone should just start sending me limited editions of all the games that they want me to review. Because,
I think you're being generous. John would give you a good score for a cheeseburger. A cheeseburger that you just left in his brother's room.
The Mystery Burg. Who did that? Devs, step forward.
It was EA.
EA, what game do you want me to give a 5 to? What game is this? Because that was a really good burger. Like, honestly. This is something that I guess I should explain for poor Conrad sitting here. I found a burger one day in my house, and it came from nowhere. And I ate it, and it was good. And it was the Mystery Burg.
Just like sitting in his brother's room.
So,
hot.
Nobody bought it. It was just there. I asked everyone in the house, did you buy this burger? No. It was just there. And it was delicious. So I think I've either been cursed or I've been inadvertently bribed by someone and the note was lost. I'm probably supposed to be giving a 5 to some game and I don't know what it is.
It was from NIS for Witch in the 100 Night and that backfired horribly.
Oh, well, they fucked up. They chose the wrong game to try to bribe me.
They backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, I'm good. And I remember...
Next time a game like that comes out, send it in and out.
No, speaking of that, though, I remember people trying to say that I was biased for Danganronpa when I reviewed that, because they were saying that I had too much previous interest in the game, and I gave that game a 4. I didn't even give it a perfect score, and people were like, "Oh, this is obviously a biased review." Like,
all reviews are biased. You're a human being.
I mean, of course, but they were trying to say that I was I didn't base it on how much I liked the game. I based it on how much I enjoyed being a part of the fandom. And no, I just like the friggin' game. And I gave it
it's a good game.
I gave it. It's a good ass game too, you know?
think that,
and it's just
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know, like,
and I don't even have a waifu in that game. Like, you want to make the fucking bias argument, John's waifu. That's where you fucking go.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. No matter what happens, I'm gonna be open and honest. Like, I don't know. There's some dumb things at, like, I mean, for example, I feel like they're not really an argument, but I feel like I shouldn't have to explain it, but just if people question me, like, you know, you went to E3 and that was an experience where they kind of cater to game journos, and I feel like the doubt in that kind of stuff where it's like, you know, they send you knickknacks or they want you to play a game in a nice setting where they give you presents or give you food or whatever.
They've never been to E3.
It's not like that, for one thing. And the other thing, it's like, I don't care if someone gives me a friggin' knickknack. I am, like, for example, went to that Dead Island party. I got all kinds of friggin' Dead Island merch. If I play that game and I don't like it, I'm gonna say it fucking sucks. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
fucking send a handwritten letter to Will Powers saying it sucks.
And you know what? If it does suck, that's what they need to hear, because I want them to make a better game next time.
Absolutely.
Like really? That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing this work for. That's what I think everyone should be doing this work for, is just, like, no matter where you're coming from, if you're a game critic, you want games to be better. Or that's at least what you should want. No matter if it's just from a gameplay standpoint, a writing standpoint, a representation standpoint, no matter what, you just want good games. So that's at least what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people come from. Except for Conrad. He's just so corrupt. He's so biased.
Oh my god. Why do we have this guy on this podcast? He's just spewing
biased
all this
journalism.
Hatred. All this hatred.
I bet Activision paid you off.
A fountain. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm rolling deep over here on my step stool in my living room, which is, you know, I have participated in the sale of homes with closets larger than my living room.
So they paid you a lot then, huh?
No, it didn't actually pan out that well. But, no, yeah, I used to work for a luxury real estate agency in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Huh.
Yeah, that was fun.
What was that
like?
like?
A story or two.
It was not fun. No, it was just tedious and awful, and I came into the business at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah.
That's all. That's really the end of the story. Yep.
All right, let's
How
wrap
much
up this.
was it like HGTV?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that.
All right.
Yeah, the home buying shows on TV are pretty much what it's like to interact with a realtor and view property. Yes, and that's it. You meet with a person, and if they're at all qualified, and everybody that they get on the shows knows their shit.
Sure.
There's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that don't actually know their shit in regards to real estate. And it's challenging, too, because every place in the U.S. is different. Every state has their own laws. And, you know, so you wind up specialized, you know, in your state and learning your stuff. And then you learn a few neighborhoods. And people would just basically work zones, that they have property, that they know what's there. But the real key to being successful in that business is to be able to promote yourself well and to network well and to have an awareness of the available inventory and to be able to match people up. It is hard work. And when I was there were more agents there than there were properties to sell. The market was just awful, just awful. But it's an interesting business, and the people who are very good at it, hats off to them. It's not easy work. But it is a lot like, at least in terms of the customer interacting with the agent, it is in good agencies with good agents. It's exactly what you see on HGTV.
Interesting.
You just don't have to see all the bullshit that person does at their office.
Fucking
So
real
today
estate
we've learned
choo-choo
that-
over here.
Today we've learned that reality TV is really reality.
Well, a lot of it isn't that too far off the mark. I was having dinner with a guy who was a reality TV producer and is now doing other things. I mean, just a few days ago, and he did like food type shows, and yeah, it's I think there's a lot of, I think reality television gets a bad rap a lot of times, that they try to hype up the drama and so forth. I think if you had to watch the hours and hours and hours and hours of footage where nobody's doing anything interesting,
Yeah.
you'd focus in on what was really dramatic too. So, yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Let's wrap up this news. I got a couple more pieces here.
All right.
NFL Sunday Ticket is coming to consoles, and you don't need a DirecTV sub to get it. It's coming to PS3, PS4, and Xbox One. And plans are going to start at around $200, but the general version will be around $240. So if you like football, there you go.
I do not. This has no effect on me.
We have fans that are different from us, Mike, and we should.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
It's just me, downloading this episode thousands of times.
Well, thank you for doing that, Mike.
I'm very dedicated.
Yes. The penultimate episode of The Walking Dead Season 2 is coming out this Tuesday. This Tuesday. It's going to be launching on Mac, PS3, Vita, and PC on this Tuesday, and then on Wednesday it's 360, and Thursday is iOS. So
I'm still behind on The Wolf Among Us. I need to catch up.
You should finish The Wolf Among Us. It's really good.
Because, episode 4 came out while I was reviewing a million things, right before E3. And then that just kind of fell by the wayside. And then when I came back, I was tired. And then I just kind of forgot about it. And then the 5th episode came out, and I was like, oh, I should play that. Well, gotta go to Canada. So, long night has been done. I should get into Wolf Among Us.
Yes.
Any more news, John?
Here's your Club Nintendo prizes for this year. It's a bunch of free games.
Thank God.
Yeah. Platinum members get your choice of Dylan's Rolling Western, Dr. Luigi, Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, Earthbound, Fluidity Spin Cycle, Game & Wario, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move, Metroid, NES Remix, Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Land 2, Wario Land 2, and Zelda 2. If you only got gold
seems like there's a bit of disparity there.
Now, see, here's the thing, is because if you only get gold status, you only get to pick from a couple of those virtual console games. So you get DK3, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, stuff like that. All the big actual releases are for the Platinum members.
Okay, cool. I think I'm a Platinum member, so I should get in on that.
I think I only got gold, so I'm probably just going to pick up, Zelda 2 or something.
I'm going to pick up Earthbound. I've never played it.
You should play Earthbound. Yes.
Okay.
That is
all right. I'll give that a shot then.
That is mandatory playing. Yes. 2 bits of news from Evo. And this will be... What was that? You guys hear that?
I have no way of telling you. I heard what sounded like a cat getting stepped on, or a screen door opening very quickly.
That was my dog.
That was your dog?
Yeah.
Man,
my
fuck
little
that
yappy
dog.
I hate that dog.
Is it the dog with you in the picture of you with the fan?
No. I like that dog. That dog doesn't make screeching noises for no reason.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, that's a good picture. So from Evo, Tekken 7 got announced. It got leaked, actually, originally. It got leaked from an IGN video. It's going to be powered by Unreal 4, and there's a little teaser out that makes reference to characters that are in Tekken. I don't know who they are, but it looks like it might be cool. The thing that's kind of annoying and upsetting is that supposedly Tekken 7 wasn't what Harada wanted to announce at Evo, but his hand was forced because of the leak. So who knows what they would have announced? Maybe they would have shown Tekken Cross Street Fighter finally. Maybe that Pokken Fighters that has been rumored for so long. Well, now we won't know. But we're probably going to find out more about all this stuff during San Diego Comic-Con because Harada has a panel there. So we'll see.
Okay.
And finally, now this is big news for me and me alone because I'm the only person who cares, but
Hooray.
I'm going to keep on rooting and tooting. Skullgirls Encore is coming to PS4 and Vita. Yeah!
Oh, thank God! I was waiting so long for Skullgirls.
Yeah! Vita! That's what I want. Like, I love playing fighting games on a portable console. I know that is the weirdest thing in the world, but I love fighting games on portable consoles if they work really well. The only one that I have a huge problem with was Ultimate Marvel. That was awful on Vita. But I love playing Darkstalkers on my Vita. I love playing Dive Kick. And just... And I'm excited for Smash Bros. On 3DS, so I'm excited for Skullgirls on Vita.
At TFCon, there were people playing Skullgirls in their hotel room, and they were all talking about how cute Squiggly was.
Because they have good taste.
All of them.
Because she's cute.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I have no frame of reference.
Alright, okay. That's the end of the news. Let's go on to questions.
Oh, John, hold on. Before you go into news. I feel I would be remiss, Conrad's here, and we like to do a little bit of homage to other people's projects.
Okay.
I've got a person named John here with me right now.
Oh no, what's gonna happen? What are we doing?
Okay, now John, hear me out.
I'm scared. I don't want you to do something unfunny and make us look like idiots. I mean, we already do that enough, but what are you doing, Mike?
You should be the new Street Sharks.
Okay, let's move on. I don't. All right,
What's the question,
do questions? Are you done?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that? All right, let's do questions. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. Let's go. All right. So if you want to send questions to videogamechoochoo.com, I don't know why you would now. But if you do, it is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Send us your questions.
We also have an email that nobody uses.
That we don't use. Nobody sends it to us, really. Just whatever.
It's so much easier to just send them on Tumblr, so just do that.
It really is. You don't need to sign up or anything. You could just send them anonymously. Our first question is from an anonymous user, but we kind of know who it is. It says, Mike, tell Conrad that Will Westwater says hi, and that he is a big fan of the stash. #superwet.
Oh, that Will.
Okay.
Hey, Conrad. Oh, Will says hi.
Thank you.
And he's a big fan of the stash.
#superwet.
Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. #superwet. Okay.
He's a swimmer, so maybe he just got out of the pool and he's just celebrating.
There you go. Let's run with that.
Yeah,
let's run far away.
Our next question.
Yeah,
is
fans of the podcast. You might hear more of Will Westwater coming soon.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Coming soon to the podcast.
Another anonymous Tumblr user has sent in a question that says, Conrad, how do you get that mustache looking so good?
I trim it back, and I brush it. It's really not rocket science. I get dry skin underneath it, which is a problem. But I have a little plastic comb, and I comb it out, and that's it. I'm a product of very fortunate genetics more than anything else.
Yeah.
Where the mustache is concerned.
I got facial hair growing problems. Like, it all grows out pretty fine, but then, like, there's one small patch, like, below my chin where nothing grows, and you can't notice it unless you're looking for it, but I'm always looking for it. So it's a real problem.
Yeah, the worst problems are the flaws that make you self-conscious about them.
Yeah.
Because you're really the only one who sees it. And, and then you feel like such a narcissistic prick staring at yourself, looking at this stupid inadequacy that nobody gives a shit about but you. I know. I know. I have one white mustache hair. Just one. Stark white. Like Leland Palmer white.
Yowza. Alright, we got another anonymous question that is all
John
caps.
had a chin strap once.
I did. Did you? I thought it was good. Was it not? Did everyone secretly hate it and just not want to tell me?
All chin straps are bad.
Really? Alright,
Literally
I
every
apologize.
chin strap.
I apologize for my past self.
Except on Will Westwater. He could fucking make it work, that asshole.
He can make anything work.
He's so
Very
handsome.
handsome.
It's
He is very
disgusting.
handsome.
He had a fucking monkey tail, and he made it work.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'll believe
Yeah,
you.
right.
I'll believe you. So as I was saying,
Continue,
this
John
question
Wachowski.
is all caps. It is a good reference. Boy oh boy, I love seeing this good ass reference every time someone brings it up. It brings a tear to my eye, and I know that this is just going to cause some shit. It just says, "Where's Podtoid?" Boy.
I don't know. I don't know what Podtoid is. It's not my problem anymore.
I was talking with Max, and he said he's probably going to try and bring it back as a San Francisco thing.
Good. It's a good show. Destructoid needs a podcast. That isn't just the new stuff. The hardline stuff's good, and I like everybody's on there. But they need something fun, and a world without Podtoid's a sad place. So I'm glad that they're gonna
I agree.
get another cast together.
So there you go. There's
I
your
agree.
answer. There's your answer. And our final anonymous question, not a final question, but final anonymous question is one more for Conrad. What were the best and worst parts of working at Dtoid?
The people there are probably the best part about it. It's everybody there really, really wants to talk about and share their passion for games, and it's they're funny and they're enjoyable people to be around, and they care about each other, which is really nice. I mean, the problem, the worst thing about Destructoid is that we were always sort of struggling to try and accomplish the things we wanted to do. It's a place with big dreams, and it's the cold realities of running and operating a business means that it's difficult at times for them to accomplish all the things that they'd like, and so that's hard. But it's a tremendously cool, fun group of people, and I hope that they can keep trucking on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right.
I've only worked closely with Max and Bill, but they're lovely, lovely boys.
They are. They're fine gentlemen, both.
Mm-hmm. And to round this off, we have our lightning round questions from Inbox Champ, multiple podcast Inbox Champ, the Masked Negro, the best Tumblr
That's his username?
in the history. That's his username. That's his username. Let's never forget. But he is running it down, sending us questions. Here we go. First one. What kind of bagel are you guys into? You like it savory, sweet, cheese, toasted?
Everything toasted.
I like
with butter.
Everything toasted with butter, you said?
Yes, that's the good shit. Fuck cream cheese.
I
though.
like a jalapeno cheddar bagel with cream cheese.
I like
Fuck
a
cream
cinnamon
cheese.
swirl. Cinnamon swirl with cream cheese and jelly.
You had me up to the cream cheese.
All right. Next question. What is a genre that you think is donezo when it comes to this generation? By donezo, I mean, like, we've done it. We've squeezed all the juice in this berry.
I don't think that exists. I don't think that's possible.
I mean,
I think that there's always you just wind up throwing another berry in there.
exactly. No matter what genre it is, eventually you're going to find someone's going to come up with something new in it. Like, even though, like, I would say that I'm very fatigued when it comes to first-person shooters, but eventually someone's going to come up with something that's going to make me interested.
People seem to really like Wolfenstein. So, that's a game that's going to give that thing a bit of a reprieve.
Next question here. Speaking of berries, is anyone a fan of yogurt?
No.
Nah.
It's repugnant. I was sick about, I guess May. Back in May, I got sick, and my wife and I both, and we were just knocked out, and we were taking antibiotics, and, to counter the effects of the antibiotics sort of destroying everything in your stomach, you're supposed to eat yogurt, and once I found out that I can just take a probiotic in a pill, I said, fuck the yogurt. I had one bite of yogurt, and it reminded me how just utterly disgusting I find that on both a texture and flavor level, that I was quite pleased to be rid of it forever.
I'll like me a strawberry or
went on to a
strawberry
bit of a
banana
rant,
yolk
I'm
plate.
sorry.
But beyond that, no. I don't like dairy all that much. That's my issue.
I like
John, what about you?
I like yogurt.
How do you feel about Go-Gurt?
The grab-and-go yogurt for teens on the go?
The grab-and-go yogurt for teens on the go. I'm so happy you remembered, John. Video Game Choo Choo is sponsored by Go-Gurt.
It's mediocre at best.
Video Game Choo Choo is no longer sponsored by Go-Gurt.
Grab-and-go yogurt for teens on the go.
That's the mediocre grab-and-go yogurt for teens on the go.
Speaking of fans, what is your worst experience with a ceiling fan? I haven't had one, thankfully. I mean, maybe
I don't
when I was
remember my
young.
experience with ceiling fans.
I mean, I could think maybe like as a youngin', like jumping on a bed and hitting my head on a ceiling fan. Maybe that's about it.
Oh, and did you like crack your head open and your mom came in there with some fucking tape?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just taping my head back together, I guess.
John, I just
had
want your
ceiling
life.
fans in my house, but I can't recall ever having an unfortunate incident involving one.
Calm with the ceiling fan.
Can
I
you
guess.
recall like any incident with a ceiling fan?
Well, I the one I had didn't always work that well, and it would shake.
That's an incident.
Yeah, you only like think about
It's
ceiling fans. It's like
disconcerting at worst.
if this doesn't work in the moment, it's a pain in the ass, and you'll maybe talk about it to your friends, but it's not something that like sticks with you unless the ceiling fan like flies off and decapitates a relative.
That true fear that one day the ceiling fans will strike back.
Or at all.
Yeah. And the final question to wrap it all up. What is everyone's view on the current climate of Kickstarter games? I think we might have touched upon that a smidge during that Yogscast
That's the
rant.
genre people are going to get sick of.
Yeah.
It's not really a genre, but I can tell you very soon, early access, this is a bubble-ass bubble, and it is going to burst like a motherfucker.
I have had a sort of healthy fear of Kickstarter since it. I mean, and I've run a Kickstarter project. Like, thanks, appreciate it, and I'm glad the service exists. I really am, and there are a lot of benefits to it. But the risk has always been there of the bubble popping, and the one that always concerned me was Double Fine Adventure, which I'm glad they're making that game. I'm glad it was done. You know, I'm glad it's being accomplished. Scared the hell out of me The second they broke $3 million, I was like, do we remember what happened? The last time Tim Schafer had access to multiple millions of dollars, don't you remember what happened? How disappointed everybody was on some level. It's not that I don't think Tim Schafer makes great art. I do. I just think he can get carried away without constraints. And I was really worried that was going to be the game that, because so much was riding on it. It was so successful.
It was the Kickstarter game for a while.
And if it failed, to deliver the product at the end, that would just, nobody would ever back another Kickstarter again. And there were a few other higher profile projects that sort of came and got their funding and even got their content out in some form before Double Fine got theirs. And that helped, I think, to sort of soften that fear. But there's gonna come a time when people lose faith, when the trust is broken. And I think every time a project fails to come through on what it promised, it just erodes it a little bit further. It's just a few more people who have now had the bad experience backing a Kickstarter. And I think for most people, you only have that bad experience once. And after you've had that, you either don't back Kickstarters at all, or the number of projects that you back shrivels to almost none.
Yeah.
Things that you absolutely know are going to come through. I myself, I've having done this Kickstarter, I've only backed one project, and I did it because of the people involved. It was something that I firmly believed in. It's something I knew that they could accomplish, and they did, and I'm pleased, and that's great. But on the whole, I think I have problems with the way Kickstarter is portrayed as an investment scheme. As stated earlier, it's not that. You're donating money in the hopes that something comes in fruition. Mm-hmm. And I think people need to sort of try to keep it in perspective, and not go too crazy.
Yeah.
It's closer to a Patreon.
Kickstarter investment. Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions we got. If you want to ask more questions for us two clowns, just go ahead and send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. I don't know why you'd care about our opinions, though. We're just dummies.
Don't listen to John. I'm a genius.
All right. But yeah, that about wraps it up.
Ask me about Transformers. I just bought a lot of them. I want to talk about them so badly. Ask me questions.
I will not allow this.
I have a Transmetal Megatron on my desk right now from Beast Wars. I got the Takara version because the gold plastic on the Hasbro version, that'll just disintegrate after a couple years. So I wanted one that had this design with like the chrome purple T-Rex head and just this robot dinosaur type thing, but without the plastic that'll fall apart, you know? You know, John? Yeah, I know you feel what I'm feeling you.
I'm not putting out a feel.
That's been another episode of Video Game Choo Choo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for sticking with us in this fucking garbage. Conrad, thank you so much for appearing on this show. Yeah, travesty.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you want to be on, just let us know. And before we go, Train Visty. Okay, John, play us out.
You just ruined everything. I'm not... Namaste to all of our listeners, but Mike, I swear to God, I'm gonna bop you in the head. Good night, everyone.